That's giving me low bar. What is up, Possums, you studs? Billy and I are here for Offensive Points, and today we have a very special Rookies and Sophomores draft for you on Underdog. So we're going to go ahead and join this right now. Make sure I picked the 30 seconds one. Yeah, okay, we don't want to wait 8 hours per pick here.
Yeah, that'd be rough.
Billy, what's up, man?
Not too much, Joe. I'm excited to see how this goes. I'm a little bit nervous that my valuation of players is going to be way different than others, but at the same time, maybe it'll be about right. Who knows?
Yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see what we're able to do with this one. Obviously, this is a complete curveball. We don't know where these rookies are going. We have a good idea where the sophomores are, but a lot of them have a lot of question marks. I mean, you go in here, is Garrett Wilson going to get a quarterback? Is Chris Olave going to get a quarterback? You know, are they still going to ride Kenneth Walker? There's a ton of question marks on all these dudes. When will Brees be back is my major question.
That's true. For the podcast audience out there, we will be doing an underdog draft, so we're going to have to talk through the draft for you. We're currently waiting for people to join the waiting room, but while we wait, Joe, we can talk about a little bit of news that's been coming out. So I just want to start first off with this crazy Jalen Carter story. We're talking a little bit before the podcast. The defensive tackle from Georgia, who's purported to go number one in the draft, is going through a little bit of legal trouble, Joe. Do you think that based on the charges, do you think that this is going to affect his stock, or is it, a little bit of a brush pass kind of deal?
This is the timing of it's absolutely going to affect his stock. I mean, the questions these teams are going to be asking him now. I mean, there's a chance they already kind of knew about this situation. I don't know. The statement he released today was very buttoned up, and you tell his agent wrote that one for him. But this is kind of crazy because, I mean, looking at it, obviously, what happened was very tragic, and, prayers to everyone involved, but it seems kind of flimsy. I mean, unless they have some real tape of what he was doing in there, or he knowingly knew they were screwed up and drove away. I don't know the details of it. That the news will come with that, but it absolutely is going to affect his draft stock one way or another. I doubt, we're looking at, a month and a half away, 2 months. I doubt we're going to have anything cleared up by then to really give us any information as to where this stands. I know the Bears pick just got more valuable though. So hooray.
Yeah, I will definitely say so. I mean, I think that this will drop him down a few draft boards. I mean, just for the simple fact that Henry Ruggs exists, and we saw what happened with the Henry Ruggs situation. And this obviously wasn't a one-to-one comparison, but anytime you have drunk, fast, crash, death, you put all those words in the same story, it kind of brings up a couple of bad memories of that incident. So this definitely is a interesting thing to come out. I do think the timing is very odd of it. I'm not going to lie. The morning of the combine, when he's about to take the stage to answer questions in front of the press, obviously he pulled out of doing any kind of commitments to talk or anything. So it's just very strange time for him to go away from. It was just a strange time for this whole story to come up. So, yeah. I hope Jalen Carter can get everything figured out, but the fact that he is in this mess to begin with probably is going to drop him off some boards.
Yeah, and I don't know who Jalen Carter is as a person, and like we said before, everything's tragic, horrible about everything. But I was kind of an idiot at 21 years old too, and I just feel horrible for this kid that this happened to him and happened to everybody, all the players, families, Georgia, everything. But we saw Laramie Tunsil get his account hacked, and they released a video of him smoking a bong, and he dropped, he was the third left tackle taken when clearly he was the best one on the board. So I don't know. It's the NFL. They tend to look for talent over character a lot of the time, but we'll see, man. We will see.
It's definitely true. The other big story I think coming out is that it looks like Aaron Rodgers is on the move, Joe. I don't know how else to say it. It feels like, from what I've been reading, a lot of reports are saying that it feels more like he is going to actually go ahead and move on. They're headed for a breakup. I'm sure as a Bears fan, you're like, holy shit, I can probably actually root for Aaron Rodgers now. But as a football fan, this is just very odd after everything of the last couple of years.
Yeah, I'm with Josh on this. I'm not going to comment until we hear anything. This Aaron Rodgers drama year after year is getting really old. As a Bears fan, yeah, I would love to cheer for the guy. I think he's an incredible player, and I have mad respect for him. He's going to make whatever team he goes to a lot better. With my luck, though, Jordan Love's just going to come out and start slinging it, and the Packers seem to have a lot of luck with quarterbacks. So I don't know. When did that news break? I was not aware of that.
It's just from the rumor sites I've been reading.
Yeah.
They say it's leaning more towards preparing for a breakup rather than a reconciliation.
I just want to go on a darkness retreat, to be completely honest with you.
Honestly, I do too. Honestly, though, if I have to be that guy, darkness retreat had Wi-Fi, Joe. I don't know why on a darkness retreat you would need Wi-Fi.
He had Wi-Fi?
Yes, there was Wi-Fi in the hut.
That's some baby shit right there. I think we should do an offensive points darkness retreat.
Let's just podcast from one.
Yeah,
why not?
Make it a reality show. I think we might get some views on that.
It would.
Hey, we got someone in the draft, man.
Yeah, Joe, I'm not going to lie. This draft getting started has taken a lot longer than I anticipated to because I only prepared 2 news stories to try to get us through to when the draft actually started. So
we got plenty to talk about, man. What's your other news story? Let's hear it.
Well, it was Jalen Carter and it was Aaron
We
Rodgers.
got JSN not running. We can talk about how much that's going to hurt him. I still think Jerry Jones threw him as like, hey, don't run because we want to get you late. But
yeah, that is a good point. I did the Dynasty Tailgate the other day, and I was talking about how JSN was one of my most intriguing things to come out of this combine week because I wanted to see what does he look like. We haven't seen him in a year, so what kind of situation does this lead to? And I don't know, I just don't without him running. Hard for me to give a prepared evaluation for him, Joe. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, coming out of high school, he's one of the most decorated high school players in a long time to come out at wide receiver. And, Ohio State just breeds these guys, and he had one spectacular season. You have to imagine he's going to do just fine in the NFL. But
I would assume so.
Definitely, with where he's going at rookie drafts right now, it's, you're investing a lot into a complete unknown.
Well, we'll find that out now, Joe. We're about to do a rookie and sophomores draft, and we'll see exactly what that is going to lead to. I will tell you this. I'll give a little sprinkle for those that didn't watch or didn't listen to the Dynasty Tailgate podcast. Joe, I think by the end of this weekend, Anthony Richardson is going to be the quarterback 1 in the NFL draft. I think he's going to hop Bryce Young. I think he's going to hop CJ Stroud, and I think he's going to hop Will Levis. And by the end of this weekend, we are going to be talking about Anthony Richardson as the potential quarterback 1.
Yeah. You kind of have to view him as a possibility with the modern NFL. He's got the size, he's got the speed. We saw Trey Lance do this. We saw, Josh Allen studding out. Everyone's a copycat in this league. So they're trying to figure that out. Just watching what he's able to do, throwing the ball, the amount of zip that he's able to. Some of those tight window throws that he does are just ridiculous. I really think he's just like Jay Cutler throwing the ball. And then you add his legs in there, and holy crap. That's a valuable quarterback right there.
You're not wrong. And I just think that, when you see him, because Bryce Young's already not going to compete this weekend. I think he's just going to get measured, and he's going to have, do the interviews with all the teams and such. But, that's just him going up against Will Levis and CJ Stroud. And I think compared to those guys, he's going to stick out like a sore thumb. Like he's going to look like, a very intense, good quarterback. And I can't wait to see it. I mean, if you watch his footwork, if you watch the way he moves his hips, legs are good. The arm is the strongest one in this class. I just think like I said, by the time it's all said and done, I know the stats. The problem is, Joe, you can't go to his stats and be like, you know what? I see it. Because if you can't game log, like that's going to fail him.
Yeah, the game log doesn't do him justice, but if you watch the jump that he made from the last 2 years, from last year to this year, and his mechanics and his footwork and everything, he is drastically improved. And I think a coach has to look at that and say, hey, I mean, this kid's willing to put in the time. He's coachable. Let's take a shot on him, especially with the question marks you have in this draft right now. I mean,
yeah, I thought the quarterback position was going to be a little bit more. I thought it was going to be an intense QB class, and I thought there could potentially be 6 or 7 quarterbacks go in the first round. Didn't quite end up that way. It still looks like 4, which is a lot more than usual. I mean, that's still on the upper end of that spectrum. So that's kind of exciting to see.
Yeah, and you have to assume someone's going to, one of these lower guys is going to make a charge into like the mid-second or something. You'd have to.
Well, Hendon Hooker should be a first-round draft pick. The fact that he tore his ACL is really the biggest issue for him, because I thought he could be the QB1 when it's all said and done. I know his age, but just his ability alone should have him up there, but just not.
Yeah.
All right, Joe, we're finally filled on this draft. It only took us 12 minutes to get there.
Hey, 1-1, baby.
And we have pick number 1 in the rookie mock draft. Well, it's actually rookies and sophomores. So this is just players drafted in the upcoming draft and the 2021 draft, or 2022 draft that we are going to be dealing with here. So this is quite interesting. Just based on the ADPs, the first 4, Bijan Robinson, Garrett Wilson, Kenneth Walker, and Breece Hall, which is very interesting to me personally.
Yeah.
But we get Bijan, Joe. I don't really know what else to say. We get Bijan, and that's pretty exciting.
If Breece was not injured, I'd have to assume Breece would be in the conversation here too, but he is injured, so this will be fun.
This will be fun. I'm, pretty excited to watch this. I'm going to pull it up a little bit higher. Yeah, I'm excited that we can get this going finally.
And nice. I am going to take Bijan. Oh, shit. I can't draft. Boom.
All right, first pick is Bijan Robinson, which is pretty not sort of shocking, honestly. It's a 30-second clock, folks, so I'll try my best to keep this going.
Kenny Pickett was the second pick.
Kenny Pickett was number 2. Wow. Okay. Garrett Wilson is number 3 off the board. Evan Silva, who, if it's the actual Evan Silva, that's actually pretty dope because I am a fan of your work, my friend.
Yes, sir.
But even if it's not that Evan Silva, it's still nice to have a OG in the draft if it is, Yeah, Evan Silva of established the run fame. All right, 4 was Chris Olave, 5 was Drake London, 6 was Kenneth Walker. Yeah, Joe, we're scared of Breece Hall apparently. People are scared of his.
He's gone now.
Number 7 goes Breece Hall. So this is where we have to make our judgment call here. Do we go quarterback or do we go Jahmyr Gibbs and just hope that we have one of the 2 good running backs? Like one of the 2's got to hit, right?
Yeah, I'd say we go Gibbs.
I think we can pick up wide receivers late. I'm not too worried about that. Let's go Gibbs.
I'm gonna go Gibbs.
All right, number 8 was Gibbs. Now we are back on the clock with.
Do we want to hit Stroud?
The 9th pick. Nope, I don't want to go Stroud.
Okay,
let's go wide receiver. Let's grab a wide receiver here.
You like Watson? Pickens?
Pickens. Let's get Pickens. Oh, Jameson Williams is also good. But Pickens,
I'm going Pickens.
Let's just do Pickens. All right. Number 9.
I'm not letting this dude stack Pickett and Pickens, man.
I like it.
Blocking him.
All right. Bryce Young was the 10th pick in the draft. Number 11 is interesting. Also a part of this draft, it's a tight end and wide receiver combo. We don't have to get one or the other, which is good for us.
We do have to get Chig, though.
Well, that's fine. Damian Pierce was number 11.
Why is Rashad
Evan
White so
Silva
low?
is back on the board. I don't know, but I almost feel like we should take him with our next pick because I think he'll make it back to us.
3 RBs off the top. I love it.
Well, we're accounting for injuries there, Joe. I think wide receiver still. Yeah, okay. Evan Silva takes Isaiah Pacheco, number 12, which is that's a good choice.
Pretty studly.
Yeah, I cannot lie. I kind of wanted Pacheco myself. And then Tyler Algier as the 13th pick.
I mean, 2 underrated names that are going to lead running backs.
Sam Howell goes 14. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, this dude's got 2 QBs now.
I don't know if I love that at number 14. There's a lot still on this board right now, especially at the quarterback position, I might add. So that's interesting.
My man's got Pickett and
Bryce Young. So very interesting.
Wow. Okay.
All right. We're back on the board now. Watson was just taken. I feel like we go Jay Will.
You like Jay Will? I mean, definitely a big play threat. You got to assume he's going to make that jump.
All right, James Williams next. I do think we should start thinking about a quarterback. I'm not going to lie, just because I'm
going Stroud because I think he's got a wherever he goes.
We'll go Stroud because he'll definitely start right away. In case that Anthony Richardson doesn't start or Will Levis doesn't start, at number 17, we pick up CJ Stroud. So that's pretty exciting.
So our team, CJ Stroud, Bijan, Gibbs, Pickens, and J-Mo. That's pretty solid.
That's pretty good right now. We're going after a lot of known talent. Well, except for the running backs. 18, JSN goes off the board. 19, Brock Purdy sees his name called. Trey Lance is apparently not a thing anymore, and I like it.
Yeah, he's still on the board, though.
One lucky ducky has decided that he is taking all of the quarterbacks. And I cannot say it's a terrible idea because it does get thin quick. But, all right, 19 was Brock Purdy. So, number 20 is on the board, and it is Jahan Dotson. I like it. And then Desmond Ridder goes off the board, number 21. A lot of rumors about Lamar Jackson possibly going to ATL. So that Ridder pick, it might be good. I don't know. I'm willing to give it a chance, though. That's for sure. All right, Treylon Burks is off the board at number 22. Hoping for a bounce-back season for Mr. Treylon Burks.
Okay, I want to go Rashad White here. And I want to back him up with Andre Miller.
It's too early, Joe. I know I don't want to burst your bubble. It's way too early.
It's not.
I'd rather go Wandale or something. No, it's way too early. No, we can go. I like the first pick there. All right, Jordan Addison was pick number 23. We're going to go Rashad White. Lenny is going to be released probably, so we do probably need to start going for wide receiver.
We got Pickens and Williams. You like Flowers or Johnson?
Flowers, I think, is going to.
If Stroud goes to Houston, Quentin goes to Houston, we could have a stack there.
Oh, good point. Yeah. Throw Quentin Johnson on there. Sure. Why not? I like it. I hope there's no questions in our chat because I have not been looking. Nope, we're good. Okay. All right. Quentin Johnston, number 25. I feel good about this so far. Yeah, I think you've identified the correct pick. There's Zach Charbonnet goes 27. Brian Robinson went 26. 28. Evan Silva takes Will Levis. Okay.
And Anthony Richardson. Damn.
Okay. The thing about this is we're getting a little greedy here. I love it. But now the quarterback pool, Joe, is like thin as ice.
That will be all right.
All right. Well, pick 29 was Anthony Richardson. Show us what the quarterbacks look like right now, Joe.
Got Bailey Zappi, Tulia Tagovailoa.
I don't even think he's in I don't think he's draftable. He's going back to Maryland.
Yeah.
I'm almost positive.
Oh, we're up.
All right.
So what are we doing
Pick
here?
30 was Jalen Hyatt. Well, at this point, I don't think there's any more quarterbacks to take. So
Do you want to take Zay?
Sure.
Let's go Zay here. Oh shit. And
all right. Grab Hendon Hooker. I don't know why I'm doing this to ourselves, but we need
we're doing this.
Hopeful quarterback. Well, he's 25, Joe. He's got to get on the field. So if there's a quarterback,
Skylar Thompson with freaking Tua's luck.
Get Hendon Hooker. I like Hendon Hooker a lot.
We'll go Hooker.
They're going to have to get him on the field. Whatever team drafts him has to know that he is an option right away. Like, they have to know that. So it is what it is. All right. Pick 34 was Josh Downs. I like it. Rookie out of North Carolina. Cannot say I don't dislike that. Devin Achane goes 35. Do like that.
That's way too early for him.
I think I somewhat agree with that.
There's not shit on the board anymore, so
I
would have taken Tucker.
Whoa. Not shit on the board anymore. What are you saying? There's a lot of shit on this board. Alec Pierce goes 36. Alec Pierce was a good pick at this late. Just star him, Joe, so we'll get to him when he actually needs to be picked.
Oh, man. You're killing me.
And you have Zonovan Knight. All right. Sky Moore was pick number 37. I don't think Talia Tagovailoa is available to play this season. That is a weird one to me. All right. Romeo Dubs was 38th. Wan'Dale Robinson was 39. And we're back on the clock.
We are on the clock.
I like either Roshan or potentially Tajay Spears. Personally.
Let's go Roshan. Let's throw it in there.
We can go Roshan. See, he was overshadowed quite a bit by Bijan Robinson, and I think that's going to show this year that he is.
Do you want to grab
useful.
Thornton for a big game threat?
Can't say I love it.
Oh.
Get
Kayshawn. All right.
He's going to get on the field.
Kayshawn.
Big body. We do probably need to figure out
Dulcich is gone.
Next pick, too. That's tough.
We don't need a tight end. It's
Michael Mayer is number 43.
These people know they don't need tight ends, right? Like Michael Mayer is kind of a shot there.
Rookie tight ends are a tough prospect because you have to, A, hope they go to a team that's going to use them, and B, you have to hope that, like, when they do get there, they don't have any, like, competition. Like, it's a very hard concept. All right, Tajay Spears goes 44. And number 45 is John Mechie. Joe hates John Mechie. Don't mention that name around him.
I do not, man.
Okay, well, I'm just saying.
That's what I wanted.
Is this our last pick? Or we have more?
This appears to be our last pick.
Oh, shit. Well,
I'm going Zonovan Knight then for the starting.
That's fine. Our quarterback situation is a little desperate, but I like it.
Bro, we're going to ride CJ Stroud.
Oh, my God. CJ Stroud, we believe in you.
Let's see.
All right. Here's the results.
As
soon as we can get them up there. Completed. All right. Our quarterbacks we ended up with are CJ Stroud and Hendon Hooker. I think the reasoning is there, A, CJ Stroud's definitely going to see in the field. We're definitely going to get a starter there. I don't see a reason that he won't be starting this season. Our second one was Hendon Hooker. I'm not going to lie. We were stretched a little thin as the quarterback started.
We should have taken Lance. We panicked a little bit.
We panicked a lot.
Well, Lance is 3. Never mind. I'm tripping.
Well, not Lance, but still, we should have took Purdy or –
well, Purdy was long gone at that point.
Or
Purdy
AR or somebody. We should have taken somebody else than Hendon Hooker. Like, we should have gone earlier. But that's beside the point. Hendon Hooker's 25 years old. If they're going to if somebody's getting on the field this year that's going to get drafted in the second round, it's a guy like him because he doesn't really have time to sit and mull on a bench. He's got to get out there right away. So I think that's a good opportunity.
Now, I think the strength of our
time
team's that running back, though.
I agree. Well, I think a good team for Hendon Hooker, by the way, is Washington. Put him against somebody that he has to compete with, like Sam Howell, and you don't have to spend a lot of draft capital on him because he's going to be a second rounder. I think you could get good value there. All right, our running backs, I agree, are our strength. So we ended up with Bijan Robinson, number 1. He was our first pick. Obvious. I think that's plain and obvious that he should be number 1. Jahmyr Gibbs was our second pick. Some people probably won't love it. I personally do. I think either Bijan's going to hit or Jahmyr Gibbs is going to hit. One of the two is for sure going to hit. Our third running back was Rachaad White. I don't see why he lasted that long. Lenny's out. Like, they're going to cut Lenny, and I think they're going to hand the reins over to Rachaad White and whatever quarterback they get in there. Our fourth running back was Roschon Johnson. I think he is just a touch off of Bijan. I think he's a lot closer to Bijan than a lot of people would like to admit. So I think this is a solid guy for us to have on our team. And then our last one is Zonovan Knight. He did have a really good showing last season. He's still behind Breece Hall on the overall depth chart, but say Breece Hall has a setback. He's already obviously been injured once. He's out now. So him coming back would mean Zonovan Knight has a clear, path to a huge workload as we saw at the end of last season.
Yeah, I think we get 2 or 3 games out of Zonovan until these rookies start getting their shit together. I mean, Bijan's obviously a day 1 starter. Gibbs probably also. But Rachaad White and Zonovan Knight got 2 veterans in there. They're going to get a lot of work starting off. So we can kind of wait on these
veterans of the second year. It's funny how actually that is a veteran for a running back because they, don't last.
Yeah, they last 3 years. Right. So they're right in the prime of their career right now.
On your dynasty team,
my dynasty teams, absolutely.
All right, the wide receiver tight end bunch we don't have any tight ends. We decided to forgo those. I think that's a smart decision.
Yeah, as soon as Dulcich and Chig went, I was out on tight ends.
Yeah, I feel it. George Pickens was the first pick that we had wide receiver wise. I think he's going to be the focal point for Pittsburgh, whether it's this year or whether it's next year. He is going to begin to pop. He kind of showed it a little bit last year. He clearly has a little bit of a connection with Pickett, so I like that a whole lot. And then, Joe, do you want to talk about Jameson Williams? I know that you liked him a lot last season, so we finally we have him on our team as our second wide receiver.
I love Jameson Williams, man. I mean, I don't have his stats in front of me. He did not catch many balls this year, but when he did, they went for yardage. Scored a touchdown, I think his first NFL catch. I think it was like a 50-yarder. Jameson Williams in this offense is truly going to unlock just about everything Detroit wants to do. Now that he's up to speed, get a full offseason in the weight room, recovery. Jameson Williams is such a buy low right now. It's screaming value. And, people just aren't excited about Jameson Williams as they should be. I think he really pops this year, especially going into year 2. I love it. And, I mean, for being a best ball, his ability could win us weeks. A huge game from him can absolutely put us over the top.
Well, I agree. And although they have, Amon-Ra St. Brown there, I do think that having Jameson Williams is probably like, we don't have the utility truck that is Amon-Ra St. Brown, but we do have the Corvette that's going to speed through. So I'm pretty excited about having that. Moving on, we got all rookies to end this one. I think they're all going to be impact rookies right away. So Quentin Johnston was our first pick. He has a good chance to be the wide receiver 1 in this draft, especially if JSN does not actually run at the combine. There's a chance that Quentin Johnston just goes there and is like, hey, I'm like the only 6'3" guy here. Are we still thinking about this? I think that could definitely be how he is at the combine. So that is our first rookie wide receiver. We went Zay Flowers after that. There's been a whole lot of buzz about Zay Flowers. I've seen a lot of people talking about him potentially being a top 15 pick in the NFL draft, which is amazing. Mace loves him because he went to the Shrine Bowl. I think we could, get a lot of good production out of him this season right away. Or he's Velus Jones, Joe. And, sometimes those don't work.
Hey, Velus looked really good at the end of the year, Billy. So Stop taking
Yeah,
shots.
he also didn't get drafted in this draft, Joe, which I
He
feel like
did
was
not.
pretty telling. There was
not.
like 100 picks here.
Yeah.
Kayshon Boutte was our last wide receiver that we drafted. Look, we all expected him to be a killer this season at LSU. It wasn't exactly what we were hoping for. I can appreciate that he stuck it out. He didn't have to. There is the strange thing of him wanting to go back to school and then him declaring for the draft. I don't know what happened there, Joe. I don't know if we'll ever know the full story of what the hell happened there. But Kayshon Boutte is our last player on our team.
Yeah. And I mean, honestly, with Kayshon Boutte, he could be the wide receiver 1 in this class. I mean, I wouldn't put it past him to end up there for his career. There's just so many question marks going into this draft right here. I mean, Quentin Johnson, Zay Flowers, Kayshon Boutte, it could all be. I mean, Jordan Addison's probably my wide receiver 1 if I was drafting today. I think I have JSN too, but I think Booty is probably 3 just watching what he's able to do. And if obviously the guy needs coaching. There's something going on there. There's a huge disconnect there. He needs like an Andy Reid type that's going to be like, hey, you're going to go do this. Okay. Yeah. And yeah, I mean, I don't know.
He has the makings of an alpha dog wide receiver.
Yes, he does.
That was exactly the ranking you just said was ranking I had going into the year. I had JSN. Oh, I said JSN 1, Jordan Addison 2, and then Kayshon Boutte was number 3. So, I mean, if he lives up to what we thought he was going to be at the beginning of the season, I mean, we probably just got the steal of the draft right there.
Yeah.
What's your biggest concern, Joe, going into this team right here?
It's quarterback, man.
CJ Stroud, you got the same one.
CJ Stroud better ball out for us. He better hit the field early, and he better have a one hell of a rookie season. We can't deal with a Trevor Lawrence type situation here. We need him to hit the ground running. I mean, honestly, though, this team's really, I think, structurally pretty good, except for the quarterback. I mean, hey, if we get a game from Hendon Hooker, I'll take it. But, our horsepower definitely comes at wide receiver and running back. And I think we have a good balance of, sophomore veterans to carry the team until these rookies start to kind of flourish a little bit. But I like it, man.
Yeah. I'm wondering if there was a rule that maybe we didn't read about, there could potentially be 6 wide receivers. You could play 6 quarterbacks at one time or something like that. Cause as we get to some of these other teams, they have more quarterbacks than us. One lucky duck would be the one I thought I was talking about.
I think Silva's got all the QBs.
Everybody only have 2?
Yeah. Well, okay. Silva had
Joe,
3.
I don't feel as bad about it. I really don't know.
I mean, Pickett and Young's pretty solid. I do not like the Sam Howell-Brock Purdy combo. That's sketchy. But the Ritter, Levis, Richardson is, I think we're solid at quarterback after looking at this.
Let's go through Evan Silva's team. I don't know if it's the real Evan Silva. Still don't. That would be hilarious if it was, though. I would find that
I don't know who else
awesome.
would get that name on Underdog, honestly.
It seems like it has to be him, but I don't know. If it is, that's so dope. So let's break down his team. He went quarterback, Desmond Ritter, Will Levis, and Anthony Richardson. I think he kind of panicked a little bit, especially with Desmond Ritter might not be the starter. So he has to get 2 players that one of the 2 may be a starter. I think that's why he went back to back in case Will Levis gets beat out, in case Anthony Richardson gets beat out for whatever. Maybe Anthony Richardson sits on the bench for this entire year. Who knows? That is definitely within the realm of possibility. So I think he kind of was just I'm going to grab a quarterback that's going to play this season. Running back, he went Isaiah Pacheco, Tyler Algier, and Tyjae Spears. I think that's the right play, Joe. I mean, Isaiah Pacheco is definitely who I would be after. I was thinking about him for us even. But Algier and Spears, I don't know.
When everyone was kind of rookie hungry, going with the rookies early, he took two guys that have roles in their offense right now. I mean, Tyler Algier finished that season really strong. So, he's not, I don't think going to ever put you up, like a 30-point game, but he's very stable. Pacheco, especially if they give him more work going into next year, he's got a thing. And we'll see on Tyjae Spears. I mean, Tyjae Spears looks the real deal especially in a best ball. I mean, he can take one to the house at any play there. So we saw it at Tulane. I think the real strength of this team is the wide receivers. And, he has Chris Olave, Drake London, Jahan Dotson, Alec Pierce, Sky Moore, and John Mechie. That's pretty solid. Olave, London, and Dotson are going to have to carry this team, especially with the quarterback situation there.
Yeah, I agree. I think the wide receiver portion is the most exciting. You don't know what you're going to get out of Mechie per se, but I think just between Olave, London, Dotson, that's just amazing. I no notes. Those are definitely good.
That's 50, 60 points a game right there.
Let's just quickly break down the other two. This one's probably our least favorite. It's from one lucky ducky. Sam Howell and Brock Purdy as the two starting quarterbacks, but I can't even say for sure that they're going to be starting quarterbacks on their own football teams, Joe. I really just don't think so. Then you get to the running backs, Kenneth Walker, Damian Pierce, Zach Charbonnet, Devin Achane, and Tank Bigsby. They do have a couple of our favorites on the team as far as running back goes, but I
love the Tank pick.
Yeah, the Tank pick was good. I like Charbonnet as well. Kenneth Walker and Damian Pierce are obviously established guys. Yo, Fortune Football, welcome in. Those two guys are good enough to carry the entire team. Anything you can get from Charbonnet and Bigsby, and Achane for that matter, are just like icing on the cake.
Yeah, no, it's pretty solid. The wide receiver, Garrett Wilson's obviously a stud. We expect Treylon Burks to come into his own this year. We'll see what Tennessee's offense is able to put together in the offseason, but we expect Treylon Burks to be kind of that alpha we thought he was going to be. A little bit of injury last year and obviously horrible quarterback play, but we'll see there. Jalen Hyatt's a really interesting pick for me because, he's another guy. We've had this argument. He had 1 year, but he could come in and if landing on the right spot, be the best rookie this year going in. I wouldn't be surprised by that. Would you?
I would not. So Fortune Football says, thoughts on Jalen Hyatt? He's my wide receiver. What about y'all? I actually liked Jalen Hyatt a lot. He ended up winning the Blitnikoff this year for being the best wide receiver in college football. A lot to do with Hendon Hooker also being, as amazing as he was this season. But I definitely going into the season, I don't think I knew much about Jalen Hyatt. I really don't. But watching him progress throughout the year, he's just a burner, Joe. And I think any team that he gets on, not necessarily going to be the guy that he's not going to be a 10 catch for 83 yards kind of guy, but he definitely could be the 5 catch for 143 kind of guy.
Oh, absolutely.
Definitely could see that. I don't think that it's good. There's not going to be a lot of games where he's the sole reason that they won the game, but there will definitely be games that you're going to be like, holy shit, that's okay. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
I
really hope he ends up on the Cowboys.
I
hope he ends up on the Cowboys. I really do. I think him opposite CeeDee Lamb is exactly what he needs. That would be a perfect situation for him. I really hope that a situation like that happens.
Yeah,
Fortune Football says wide receiver 2. Yep. As long as he goes somewhere where he does not have to be the alpha, I think that would be if he ends up on the Ravens, damn it. That's a wasted opportunity.
Well, if Josh was here, he'd say Bateman's a wide receiver 1. So,
yeah, I love Josh, but not for me personally.
Yeah, Hyatt's going way too late in rookie drafts right now. People have not really comprehended what happened last year. You're still seeing this. By the time these guys land on teams, we're going to see such a crazy flip-flop of these wide receiver ranks. It's going to be absolutely insane. But
he is literally one of those guys where, if he ends up on a good team, he's going to explode through the roof. Put him on, the Rams for whatever reason, boom, through the roof. Would love how Sean McVay would use him. But if he ended up on, the Texans, I don't love it. And because that's just not the situation he belongs in. So I really hope he goes to a team where he can be fully utilized. All right, let's get on to the last team.
Chicago. He'd be perfect with Fields' arm. Man.
Well, Joe, I said fully utilized. Notice that. But anyway, Feed the Freezer was our last team. His QBs were Kenny Pickett and Bryce Young. I have really no notes. I think Kenny Pickett's probably your safest bet, just not knowing how any of the rookies are going to do.
He probably is the safest quarterback room.
Yeah, and Bryce Young, Bryce Young is going to get on the field. Like, that's going to happen. Running back wise, he went a little safe. He went Breece Hall, Brian Robinson, James Cook. We don't know what Breece Hall's injury situation is. We assume he's going to be back for the regular season, but there's just really no way to actually know that.
It's on him in Brian Robinson 3 games, I promise.
Well, and that would be good for us.
Yes.
Brian Robinson, I still think he's going to get work with Antonio Gibson or another back. Like, I don't think Brian Robinson's forever going to be a number one. And then James Cook, I think we both can agree, is going to make an ascension this year. I think the Bills definitely saw last season how they could use him better going forward.
Yeah, my only fear about James Cook is you'd have to assume they're going to draft a back this year, especially with Singletary leaving.
Right.
I mean, Nyheim Hines is great, but he doesn't complement James Cook at all. So you have to fear another back's going there, and kind of where they're drafting, you have to fear that maybe Bijan's going to be going there. And that
there's
offense
a potential, or
sweet.
Even if it's like Zach Charbonnet, like even if it's somebody like that for the Bills, like that's kind of what James Cook is looking at here, somebody like that. So I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens. Moving on to wide receiver / tight ends. We have quite a few to get through here, so we'll try to tackle him quickly. Christian Watson was his first pick. Josh would be absolutely out on this team if he was here, just based on one pick alone. I don't think it's a bad pick, honestly. I mean, we don't exactly know what that team's going to look like, especially with no Aaron Rodgers, but I think Christian Watson's going to be a big part of it going forward. Other than that, Jackson Smith-Njigba, Jordan Addison, and Josh Downs were the next 3 picks. Look, there's a question mark about each team. We don't really know what we're going to get from those guys just yet, no matter where, wherever they're drafted.
I'm going to get you back on there, man.
No, that's fine. But like without knowing where JSN's drafted, where Jordan Addison's drafted, where Josh Downs is drafted, especially Josh Downs, without knowing any of those, it's kind of tough to say. But he also did pick 7, so he's definitely got room for error. He also picked up Wan'Dale Robinson, Greg Dulcich, and Tyquan Thornton. And I think this is the kind of thing that you need for this kind of a team. Like, you need those 3 guys that are probably going to get worked into their offense more going into year 2.
I think Dulcich was a really good pick, especially as late as he got him at 42, because we saw what he did last year. He's going to get on the field, or he's on the field, but he's going to get the ball. So getting a guy that late, we don't really know what Wan'Dale Robinson is yet. We don't know where Josh Downs is going to go. His top 3 are fine, but having Dulcich as the backup there is really solid. And I do like the Thornton pick because, going into year 2, he does have that speed that can really help out in a best ball. So it's pretty solid. But, honestly, after looking at all these teams, I kind of like ours, Bill.
I think I do too. All right, we got a question from Fortune Football. What's y'all's thoughts on Thornton? Do the Pats bring in another wide receiver?
I think they have to bring in another wide receiver.
Here's the little known secret about the Pats, I think, going into this offseason is that Jacoby Myers is going to get paid. And Mike Reese, the beat reporter for ESPN that covers the Patriots, said that he's going to probably get a Christian Kirk type deal from a team.
About 16 a year. Basically.
Not going to be from the Patriots. Bill Belichick will never give that kind of money to a wide receiver, especially named Jacoby Myers. So this does give a very interesting opportunity for a wide receiver like Tyquan Thornton to potentially take over that offense. But on the flip-flop, that does mean they're probably bringing in a wide receiver. There's not really anything good in free agency, so I do think they'll go to the draft, but I still think this gives Tyquan Thornton the pole position to be the top wide receiver there next season. So, honestly, I kind of think Thornton's a buy low right now, and if you have him, he's in a good, in good space.
D-Hop to the Pats would be awesome. And
D-Hop to the Pats would be awesome.
with Mac Jones, I mean, you have to see what you have with this kid. He looked, he was solid as rookie last year, didn't quite look the same. That offense as a whole took kind of a nosedive there. You have to kind of go all in on him this year. And if you have the opportunity to flip, what were they saying, like a third or a second for Hopkins and take on that contract, I think that's kind of a no-brainer if you're the Patriots. I know they don't but you pay guys like DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah, I think the only thought that I have is that will D-Hop want to go to somebody who isn't necessarily competing? I cannot say that D-Hop puts the Patriots over the Bills. I don't think it puts them over Miami. So
no, Miami is going to screw up their way to third place.
Well, you're not.
Yeah, I mean,
wrong. Even though they have Big Fangio now, that's exciting.
Yeah, Hopkins at least makes them competitive at wide receiver. That would be pretty solid. I mean, yeah, really, you kind of need a size guy there. I mean, Devontae Parker is not the guy. I don't even know how many years he has or if he's a free agent after this year anyway. But you need a size guy. You need a guy that can go get the ball, and I don't think you're getting it in this draft at all. So, I mean, you could go with a Parker Washington and get a, kind of a boring middle guy to pair with Thornton, but I don't know. Yeah, I like D-Hop to the Pats.
I wish they would do it. I wish they would do it. I don't know that they're going to do it. I wish they would do it, but we'll see. Bill Belichick is a mystery. We all thought he was stupid for picking Cole Strange in the first round last year, and Cole Strange ended up being awesome this year. So
no,
he clearly knows something, but at the same time, he cannot draft a wide receiver to save his life. So it is what it is. Joe, do you have what we're all projected? Is that an option to see
trying to figure this out
all
here.
4 teams? Because I want to see if we're projected to win this or
we're projected 16-13.
Okay, we can do
the Freezers 1852.
Jesus,
One Lucky Duck is 1800, and Evan Silva is 1380. So
okay,
I don't know. Man. I always feel good going in with a low projection. I hate finishing a draft.
This is tough because I don't believe that just to close that loop, Fortune Football says Parker has 1 year left on his contract.
Then he had one big game last year. He's a guy. I don't think he's going to break up.
Yeah, but I still think they're going to usher in somebody new. I think it's Tyquan Thornton and probably. I mean, they're definitely not going to use Kendrick Bourne. I thought he earned his spot on the team, but that bit me in the ass saying that he was a buy low. I still will defend that he was worth that. He was worth investing in because they should have used him more. And they just simply did.
Wasn't there some weird off the field stuff or something with him and Belichick? Fortunately, you're a Pats fan. Didn't something happen with Bourne last year?
I'm pretty sure that he got thrown out in practice or something. Yeah, at the beginning of the season because he did something. I can't remember the whole rest of that story, but yeah. But how stupid is that? You throw out a good football player, not use him on the team because of something like that. It's kind of crazy. I don't know.
Yeah, it's Belichickian.
It's very Belichickian. It's very true. Okay. Well, Joe, I think we can wrap it up here. This was actually a lot more fun than I thought it was going to be rookies or sophomores and juniors. So this was even more exciting to draft players that we don't even know where they're going to go. Literally, This is literally best ball. We have no clue where half of our team is going to end up because they haven't been drafted into the NFL yet.
Yeah, this draft really just reminded me how freaking underwhelming last year's draft class has been.
Yeah, and especially at quarterback, I'm not going to lie. It's very eye-opening of how, we can't draft Malik Willis. We can't draft Bailey Zappi. We can't draft any of these guys with confidence because we just simply don't even know if they're going to see the field this year.
I do think I would have been much more comfortable taking Zappi rather than Hooker there because, I mean, if Jones struggles at all, he had that momentum in the Bears game last year. I think the crowd could easily get behind him.
You're not wrong, but at the same time, I think any team that drafts Hooker has to know that his timetable is a little bit more accelerated than some of these other players because of how old he is. Yeah. I just think if you draft him, you have to know that there's a chance he's getting on the field So I think a team like Carolina, the Saints, potentially even like a place like Miami where we don't know where Tua is. I mean, Tua says he's committed to come back to football. I think that is insane to think that. But like even a place like there, Tampa,
That
where
seems
we
like
don't
a
know the
Vikings.
situation.
That seems like a Vikings pick right there, the Hendon Hooker.
I mean, I guess that would be a disaster, I guess, for our with how many teams need a quarterback right now.
Yeah.
Him going there would be the most disastrous place, or like the Chiefs or something. It would just be a disaster. But like Arizona, that would be a good spot for him to go. I don't know, somewhere where he can actually be used.
I mean,
a lot this
any
season.
team would be smart, especially if he falls away. I mean, he could sneak back up, but if he's going to fall, I think any team in that range would be smart to at least throw him on their team.
I think he goes in the second round. I really do. I just hope he doesn't get drafted to like the Bears. Like that would be horrible.
Yeah,
because he's definitely not getting on the field, and he's probably older right now than Justin Fields is.
Yes,
I have not looked that up. I'm just doing that off a thought, but like he probably is older than Justin Fields, and we don't need Justin Fields mentoring a player that is older than him. I just don't buy it. So hopefully that's.
You think Tampa Bay panics and freaking drafts Hooker?
Yes, honestly, I think a team like that or like Washington, where they're like they have like a guy kinda like Kyle Trask is or Sam Howell is, like they have a guy kinda, but they like aren't really for sure. Or like one of these guys that's going to sign Gardner Minshew or Jimmy Garoppolo or somebody like that, where they're going to try that out and see how it goes. That could also be an opportunity.
Yeah, I just know all of my the thoughts in my head of where these quarterbacks could end up. That would be absolutely awesome. Jimmy Garoppolo is going to absolutely fuck them up. So, cheers to you, Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah, for real. He's going to go screw up some team, but
yeah.
whatever. Is what it is. For sure. All right, Joe. I think we'll end it here. Thank you all out there that have been watching on YouTube. If you would like to, the podcast, I know this is probably sounding a little hectic because we are literally watching a screen and kind of reading off picks. But if you would like to go actually watch this draft, it is going to be available on YouTube for playback. So just go ahead and check it out on there. That will be very cool. Joe, you have anything to leave us off with here?
Just do as many underdogs as you possibly can. This is the downtime in the season. You're getting tremendous value on these rookies, and get Kendre Miller, man. He's my guy. Get him
for sure. We didn't get him, but you should get him.
Yeah, I panicked and took Zonovan because I think Breece's injury is worse than. I don't think he's coming back week 1, but
for sure. All right, Joe. We haven't been live in a while, so this is kind of exciting. But for the first time in a while, live, get us out of here.
Guys, it's been a pleasure. Good night.